Hello Facebook, hello YouTube. I'm so sorry to keep you waiting. I have just been filming actually something for YouTube, which I'm going to pop up a little bit later on. So that will hopefully be something that's good. I'm just checking there we go. Yeah, I'm just checking that the camera is all working properly. Oh, what a grey, miserable day it is. It's Wellbeing Wednesday, so we're going to counteract that with lots of good things and good chat today. You like my pyjamas? Thank you very much. So these are a lovely, lovely female founder-led brand. There's a really cool girl called Sian Esther. That's the name of her brand. And she makes pyjamas, really beautifully soft, ethically made. This is a little velvet trim. I mean, they're really gorgeous. They come in a beautiful little bag. And she works with women's charities, women who are victims of domestic violence, and to help with refuges and to give women a safe bed for the night. Isn't that a lovely connection? So you know that every time you buy a pair of pyjamas, you are helping another woman to have a safe night's sleep, which I think is amazing. And she's given us a Liz Loves. Isn't that great? So do check her out. She's a really cool chick, and I'm very pleased and happy that we can support her here if you are thinking about buying a new pair of PJs. Now today, why am I in my PJs? Obviously, first question. Well, I'm here because I'm going to do a whole sleep story. You may have seen me on This Morning, on Monday with Eamon and Ruth. Still one of the very few men in the world to call me Elizabeth. And it was lovely to chat to them. And I actually did my live on TV here in my bedroom, in bed, which was just quite a weird thing. Talk to the nation from bed. But it worked quite well. I do it over Skype and it seemed to work. And I just thought, actually, the thing with national television is you only get a tiny little amount of time. And I didn't really have a chance to do a deep dive into some of the things that really help us sleep. And I think so many of us are finding that our sleep is disrupted at the moment, that we're not sleeping well, that we're waking up, we have anxiety, we're finding it hard to fall asleep. And, sleep is such a fundamental thing. It's absolutely crucial as part of our immune system. Those of you who might have listened to my podcast that I did not that long ago with Professor Matthew Walker, who's the sleep specialist from Stanford University in America. And the links between sleep and our immune system are just extraordinary, really extraordinary. Also things like weight gain and sleep, really important. Even things like if you're going to go for a vaccination, how important it is to have had a good night's sleep the night before. And it can make a difference of up to 40% in efficacy. I mean, really extraordinary. Do take a listen. In the house today, we have got Amy on Facebook. Hello, my lovely. I know that you will pop a link to all the things I talk about. So things like that podcast, I think, with Matthew would be really good. Lainey, hi, darling. You are on Facebook, not Facebook, you're on Instagram today. So Lainey, obviously we can't put links up, but what we've done is Lainey has put a whole load of links onto Linktree, which you'll find in my bio if you're brand new here. Welcome. But also what we've done, because I've got lots and lots of things today that I want to rattle through that I think will be quite helpful. So what we have done is made a feature on Liz Earle Wellbeing website. So we'll put a link to that. Yeah, rather than just do endless links to things because that just gets a bit tedious. We'll put the link up to the feature and then afterwards just literally click on that. That'll be in my Instagram bio. Just go to lizearlewellbeing.com. You'll see it'll be up there. It'll be a whole feature. Liz loves to sleep. And all these things will be mentioned. So easy, so you can relax. You don't have to sit there with a notepad and paper jotting it all down. Now, talking of which, oh my goodness, I forget who it was. Somebody a while back said, oh, I love watching your lives and listening to you, and I always make sure I do it with a notepad and paper so I don't miss anything and I can write it all down. Well, that got me thinking. So I had a word with my team, and guess what we've done? We have made some little Liz Earle Wellbeing notebooks, which I just love. And they've got little words of wisdom on them. So this one says, and breathe, really important. They're just really small, little pocket size. So they're perfect just to have, beside the bed or pop it in your bag. Don't take up any room. You can even put it in your pocket because they're quite nice and flat, so like for shopping lists and things like that. So there are 3 of them in a little pack. They're not for sale just yet, so hold your horses. They come with a little ribbon around, a little cardboard band. And then there's one which is like a kind of honeycomb. And there's one, so this one says "and breathe." This one is the Wellbeing Pink. It says Wellbeing Wisdom on it. Live, love, laugh. What a great motto, hey? Live, love, laugh. Anyway, so I now have a little notebook beside the bed with a pencil, because sometimes I do wake up and my brain's obviously been processing stuff, and I wake up with an idea and I just want to capture it. I don't want to, you know, have to think during the day, what was that I thought about that was so good and I can't remember it now? It's infuriating, isn't it? And then also last thing at night, actually, it can really help if you want to just get things out of your head so they're not on your mind. You can write them down, so you kind of like to-do list tomorrow, like, you know, things I'm going to worry about tomorrow. I'm not going to let it worry about me in my sleep. I'm just going to put them down here. Hopefully you're not going to have too much to worry about as you sleep, but really good, I think, to offload the brain. So anyway, just very quickly, these will be available on the Earle Wellbeing website. They'll be £7.50 for a pack of 3 with free P&P. However, we've just got a few logistics to work out with all of that. There's always so much complicated stuff that goes on behind the scenes on a website, as I'm sure many of you know who have websites. So what we are doing for now is we are giving them away free. You get a pack of 3 free with any book, okay? Any book on the website, and I will sign them all. So we've got Good Gut Guide, Good Menopause Guide, obviously my lovely yearbook too, which I love so much. So there you go. So maybe for Mother's Day, nice thing. If you haven't yet got your yearbook too, you want your notebooks. Anyway, so just throwing that out there as an aside. The other book actually that I love, which I was given, which I just wanted to share with you, I think I popped it in the sleep feature. Lots of you have been writing saying that you benefit from journaling. And journaling is something that I've never kind of really done over the years. I know my girls do it, you know, Brella and Lily are very much into journaling. But it's not really been something for me. Anyhow, more recently, I have got into it, and I guess it's, you know, with everything that's just going on, we're trying to find more and more ways, aren't we, to be really, to really help de-stress and to unload the mind. I'm just looking here at my link just to make sure that I've got everything up and running ready. So this is the book that I was given. It's called The 5-Minute Journal. It's a really lovely book. It's kind of linen covered, and it's just a really nice size. You know, it's very, very well resolved, I think they would say in the publishing world. So this is The 5-Minute Journal. You can get it online, and it starts off with really talking about, you know, why journaling and how to do it, the kind of the principles, the morning routine that you might like, the nighttime routine. And then you can start it any day of the year. That's quite a nice quote. Never go to sleep without a request to your subconscious. Interesting, isn't it? Just say, request something. So it talks about the nighttime routine, and then weekly challenges, truths and actions, and it just gives you, you know, pre-written pages here. So this one, for example, has the date on it, has a little word of wisdom, and then things that you write down, you know, I am grateful for, and you fill that in. What would make today great? I can think of a few things I could put there. Daily affirmations, I am, fill in the blank. And then in the evening, 3 amazing things that happened today. You know, it could even just be, you know, I had a phone call from a friend I haven't heard of from a while, or I tried a brand new blend of tea that I thought was incredible, or, you know, whatever. It doesn't have to be earth-shattering things. It can be small things. And then how could I have made today even better? And that's, I think, quite a nice thing, just a little contemplation to think about so that life improves. Anyway, I'll just throw that out there for anybody looking for some kind of journal or wanting to get started. Maybe if you've not done any journaling before, you know, being faced with a completely empty notebook is a bit daunting, isn't it? Sometimes it's quite nice to have a bit of a guide. So, what other things do I do? Well, so many things. Gosh. I'm sat here, those of you I think probably on Facebook, because you get the wider screen, can maybe see. I've got my, of course, my cell return mask, the things that I do at night. Okay, so this is my routine, and I've built probably a slightly longer routine over the last year since being in lockdown, because I think we just need a little bit more support. So I obviously clean my face. I take magnesium. So I take magnesium usually an hour or so before bed. So I have my pot in the kitchen, but I also have a pot upstairs in the bedroom. Oh, excuse me, I've got a tickly nose. I'm actually, I think, fending off a cold. More about that in a moment. So this is the one that I take. I've tried lots over the years. This is by Newson Health. It's called Magnesium Plus. And the reason that I like it is it has several different types of magnesium in it. When you look at magnesium, magnesium can be a bit of a tricky mineral to get to grips with because there are lots of different forms. This one contains magnesium malate, magnesium citrate, and magnesium ascorbate. So it's got the three of them, so it's a bit gentler on the tummy than some. It also contains B vitamins, really helpful for stress and anxiety, and a little bit of vitamin C as well. So I take two of these. I actually take one in the morning and one in the evening. That's my go-to. Newson Health, you get them from Emma Ellis Flint, who's a lovely nutritionist who specialises in menopause and midlife women. She's great. She's also worth a follow on Instagram, and she has given us a discount on her website. Let me just check. And see, we get 10% with Liz Loves, all in capitals, on her website. So for me, that's the one that I use. So that's probably my first starting point, is to think about, let's get some magnesium in my system. I also try and come off screens. We've talked about it before. It's so hard, isn't it? That scrolling endlessly. It's that blue light that's affecting our pituitary gland, that's telling us to stay awake and stay active. And actually, we don't want that. We want to be calming ourselves down and staying off. So if you can, if you're going to bed and want to be asleep by, say, 11 o'clock, try and come off your screens by 9. By all means, if you want to watch a bit of TV, then you can. But I would really try and stay away from it. And if you can, try and keep your bedroom a device-free zone. Not always easy. I actually use a sleep app, so I don't have a device-free zone, but I do make sure that my phone's on flight mode later in the evening, and that really helps. Something else that I really like is having a nice warm bath. Having a bedtime ritual is really helpful. So all these things, once you start to repeat them and it becomes a habit, your body and brain, once you start, you're getting in the zone, okay, for sleep. So your body and your brain are going, oh, I've just had my magnesium. That means we're about to go to bed soon, So you begin to start winding down, dimming your lights, really important. Keeping away from bright lights. I've got dimmer switches in my kitchen, and as the evening wears on, I just dim everything down. If you haven't got dimmer switches in the sitting room, maybe just use a table lamp with a lower wattage bulb, or light a candle. Never leave a candle unattended, obviously, but just think about ways to dim your lights down. I know Lily, who has still just such terrible migraines at the moment, she actually uses Christmas tree lights. The little very soft glowy lights, little white lights from a Christmas tree. And she discovered that because she had the Christmas tree lights up at Christmas, and discovered that when she was having a migraine, she could actually turn all the lights off but still have the glow of the Christmas tree lights on. So, those are just ways to be very nicely atmospheric. And again, it's just signalling to the brain the whole time, oh, it's time for me to start thinking about sleep now. So magnesium. Magnesium, really good to take internally. It can help with cramps, with restless legs. Lots of women particularly get restless leg syndrome. That can be a sign that you're not having enough magnesium. Having a magnesium bath. So Epsom salts, really good. You need to use a lot though. My advice if you're having a bath is not to have it too hot, because that can overstimulate. You don't want to be waking the body up, you want it to be chilling out. So just a warm bath, on the hotter edge of warm, but not really, really hot. And you need to use about 500 grams of Epsom salts. So that is quite a lot. This bag here is 1 kilo. So it's about half of one of these bags. And then soak in it for about 20 minutes. And there is some evidence, it's limited, but there is some evidence that the magnesium does get absorbed through the skin. And it certainly does help to just calm everything. So I particularly love these. These are Better You. This is made with magnesium, lavender and chamomile. It's the purple pack. And it's specifically designed for bedtime. This one, they've got lots of different ones, but this one is specifically to soothe tired and aching muscles in preparation for sleep. And it does smell really good. Oh, I'm getting a little whiff of that already. Lovely. It's chamomile and lavender, really good, combined with a very high quality magnesium flake. Now, I went onto their website because we have a Liz Loves discount with Better You, which you might know about because I also use their vitamin D sprays, and I really like them as a brand. I think they're excellent. And they already have an offer on these flakes. I forget how much it is, but they've got like a third off or something. And our discount code works on top of that. Isn't that a result? That's a double deal, double discount. Really, really good. I don't know how long it's going to last for because I've just checked it. But if you want these, I would say that's a really, really good value pack to go for while they've got their discount. Because when I saw the discount, I thought, oh, I bet ours doesn't work on top. I think it's 25% they've got off. And then ours, which I think is it 10%? How much do we get off on Better You? 15%. Wow. So that is... my maths is a shocker. 40% off. There you go, nearly half price. Brilliant. Thank you very much, Better You. Before I go on actually with more sleep tips, just because my nose is itchy, just to say I think I'm getting a little bit of a cold just because I've got an itchy nose and a tiny bit of a sore throat. So a couple of things. What I do whenever I get little beginnings of a sore throat is I do salt water gargle. Really cheap, simple, easy, highly effective. And then, of course, I have been taking my Lactoferrin. So I know lots of you have grabbed these. These are quite expensive. This is the Lactoferrin supplement called Leapfrog. Lactoferrin with zinc and vitamin C, and it's just in a little dissolvable capsule that you just eat it. It's really nice, little pastel. It's quite tasty, actually. And I'm now having this daily, because I got the first sign of a sniffle and I thought it would be really helpful. So I was really grateful actually to have it in my cupboard. So it might be something that you don't necessarily want to take all the time, but at this time of year when, come what may, there are bound to be the regular coughs and colds and flu bugs around, actually really handy to have it. So we shall see what happens, my dear listeners. How am I going to be on Friday? We'll see. Tune in and I shall tell you. Anyway, so that was that. And the other thing, actually, I did do some exercise this morning because I do try and do a little bit every day. And Wednesday morning is one of the days when I normally train with Michael Gary, online. And I saw him this morning. And as always, first question, hi Liz, how are you? And I said, actually, do you know, I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. I think my body is just fighting a cold at the moment. You know, I'm feeling okay, but you know, I can tell that there's just something that my immune system is doing a little bit of a battle with inside. And he said, no aerobic. Because normally he makes me do skipping to start with. We start with like 200 skips. And that really kind of gets the heart going and then goes on to, you know, lifting weights and squats and all that kind of thing. And he said, no aerobic. And I said, actually, you know, I feel I could do some skipping. I'd be quite happy to do a bit of skipping this morning. He said, no, absolutely. He said, what I don't want you to do is to be huffing and puffing and breathing, you know, more deeply and more rapidly. So we just did core workouts. So we did, if you've got my e-guide, Stronger, Slimmer You, then you'll see some of the exercises that we did. So I was doing things like abdominal crunches and sort of very simple squats, not weighted, and yeah, simple arm exercises, stretches, some lower back mobility and stretches, which was great actually. So I was very lucky, I think. I felt very fortunate to be guided by him. So I didn't just kind of get up and think, yes, I'm going to go for a run, I'm going to push through this. Because he said, no, absolutely not. Do something, focus on your core, but keep it anaerobic while you feel that you're fighting an infection. So there you go. Thought I would add that into our little mix. So where was I? I was talking about sleep. So my routine, okay, so dim lights, take my magnesium, have a magnesium bath. Don't do that every night, but if I've got time, then I will do that. So begin to unwind. Think about your bed setup. Now, this is really important actually, because we spend up to a third of our lives in bed. And we should be doing things like replacing mattresses and making sure that we've got really lovely, comfortable bed linen and comfortable sleeping clothes. You know, think about how much we spend on our clothes that we wear during the day. And then, you know, we might just, you know, throw on a cheap old nightie. And actually, you know, you want things that are well made, that are comfortable, that are made with good quality fabrics, you know, all of that. It's an investment, isn't it? And the other thing that's a really good investment, obviously, is a mattress. And mattresses are things that, is it every 10 years they say should be replaced? They can be just such a breeding ground for all kinds of bugs and bacteria. You should hoover your mattress, apparently, when you change your bed. You should put the hoover on and hoover it so that you're getting rid of all the dead skin cells and all the stuff that, you know, house dust mites, for example, like to feed on. So if you're allergy prone, you know, hoovering your mattress can be a really good tip. The other thing that I found over the years is I really like the memory foam mattresses. I bought my eldest son actually a memory foam mattress, and he just absolutely swears by it, wouldn't sleep on anything else. And it's, you know, it's a really, really good thing. I actually like the memory foam pillows. I've got my memory foam pillow here. This is one that you can get online. It's got a shape to it. Again, there's a link to all this stuff, so you can have a look if you want to see what I've got. So I really like that shape because I do get neck strain and neck ache, and I just find that that gives a lot of really nice support. So if you want a new mattress, my team at Earle Wellbeing are linking up with this amazing company called Mammoth mattresses. And I had to do a double take when I read this because they've given us 40% off all their mattresses and pillows. 40. Okay, so if you're thinking about a new mattress and you're interested in memory foam, which I think is great, I think they have 10-year guarantees, and it's, you know, they're a really, really big, well-respected company. They've got lots of different types of mattresses, and they're not expensive either. That's the other thing. I think they start at something like 300 and something pounds. So, you know, you can get your 40% off, and they do children's mattresses and all sorts. So really, really good thing. I think my team are working with them because we're going to be doing a competition or something in the next issue of the magazine. So I think that's how the connection came about. So when I heard about it, and I said, listen, I'm doing sleep this week, so if we're doing something, let me know. And literally I heard this morning that we've got this 40% Liz Loves discount. So there is a link. I'm not quite sure what it is. Let me have a look. Maybe it's in my notes here. Mammoth mattresses. Yeah, you go to Mammoth Perks. It's quite fun, isn't it? mammothperks.co.uk. And that's just till the end of the month. Okay, so if you're thinking about a new mattress, do head over. Amy, lovely, you can probably pop the link, can't you, on Facebook? And I'll make sure that it's in the sleep feature that we've got live at the moment. The other thing that I really, really like is, obviously I'm hooked on my pillow, love memory foam, just find it really hygienic and clean and comfortable and supportive, you know, particularly if you have an achy back or aches and pains. I really do rate it. But what do you put on your pillow? Well, this is my other massive indulgence that I love, and that's a silk pillowcase. I've been a fan of silk pillowcases for a number of years now for a number of different reasons. One, they are supremely soft and comfortable for your skin. It's just lovely. They are very good if you sleep on your side like I do, because they don't crease, so you don't wake up with crease marks on your face. They're very good for the hair because they actually make your hair shiny if you sleep on lovely silk. They can be very cool in the summer and slightly warm and cosy in the winter. Now, I've tried lots of different silk pillowcases over the years. A lot of them fall apart after washing. Don't be guided just by price, because sometimes it's a false economy. This was sent to me by our lovely friends at Holistic Silk, who make those amazing patterned silk face masks and beautiful silk eye masks and hair turbans. And it's a lovely female founder-led brand based in Cornwall, all ethically made from mulberry silk, which is, I've got a little card about it here, pure mulberry silk. Feel the difference that it brings. And she says, pure silk helps your skin retain the natural moisture and expensive night creams. eliminates telltale sleep lines, reduces hair damage, protects from bedhead, particularly for thin or thinning or brittle hair. Recommended by dermatologists and stylists. It's simply heavenly to sleep on. Reduces frizz and split ends. Prevents nighttime facial creasing. 50% less drag than a cotton pillowcase. Drag on the skin, I guess. And this, if you want the technical information, is 22 MOM. I don't know quite what that means. MOMME, pure mulberry silk. And it's fairly made. And I love it, and we have a discount. So it could be a rather nice Mother's Day present, don't you think? Because I'm going to show you this one in just a sec. Let me just check. 10% off with Liz Loves, all in capitals, and that is from holisticsilk.com. Look at this one. Isn't this beautiful? What a stylish colour. And it's got beautiful piping and, you know, it's a little envelope end. Really lovely. I mean, if you're going to invest in a silk pillowcase, then absolutely this is the real deal. And I genuinely love mine. Feel like getting back into bed right now, I have to say. The other thing that I really like to take to bed with me is this little thing. So as I mentioned before, I do get quite stiff neck. I guess it's tech neck. Too many Zooms and laptops and all of that. So I try and always do my stretches, my neck stretches before bed. Really important. Don't forget this one, nose to shoulder. Yeah, nose to shoulder. Have you tried that one? Really good for here. And if you want to make that work even harder for you, you just put your hand on your head and then you can really feel that lovely stretch up here. So, oh, I'm going to do it the other side now. So nose to shoulder, down to there, and then just pop your hand on your head and just very gently stretch. Feeling better already. So this was, I think, a Christmas or a birthday present a while back. I popped a link in the sleep feature if you want to find these really soft, cosy cases. And it's a hot water bottle. So I just fill this with hot water and then I pop that round my neck like that as I'm lying on my lovely moulded pillow with my silk pillowcase. And then I do actually, at the moment, put my cell return mask on, which I know is an indulgence, but this is me at night. There you go. It's a good job I sleep alone, isn't it? So that's the red mode that I use, and then that I'm going to have to turn it off now because it goes through all its cycles. That's the blue mode for acne, pink mode for rosacea and eczema. Fast mode, which is when you want a quick fix, which is what I did. When did I do that? Must have been Monday morning, I think, actually, before being on this morning, and then turn it off. But I tend to fall asleep with mine on, to be honest. And that's a really interesting point about light. So red light is shown to be helpful for us falling asleep. Blue light wakes us up. So if you want to do a bit of light therapy, you know, first thing in the morning, that's why it's so hard when it's dark outside, because our bodies are tuned in to respond to light. So you want to go out and look at daylight, you know, open your window, put your head out, have a look, try and get some real daylight through the eyes and getting up into the pituitary gland to wake you up. Whereas at night, you don't want that. You don't want the blue light. You don't want the blue light from your screens. You want, you know, soft, glowy lights. And yeah, so light is a really, really powerful thing. I love the effect that light has on the brain. So there's more. Oh my goodness, yeah, my routine is not finished yet. So the other things that I like to do, only a few more actually. One is, I was talking about magnesium and taking that. I also take my slumber drops. I had to be convinced, because when I first heard about them, I thought, not sure they're going to make a big difference to me, but they really do. So slumber drops contain a blend of herbs that are known to be soporific and very calming and switch off. So things like passion flower. We know it's always tiny weeny writing. Why is it has to be so small, this writing? I should know it by hand, actually, off by heart. Montmorency cherry, chamomile, lavender, passion flower, which I've talked about, valerian root, and valerian is a really time-honoured herbal ingredient for taking away anxiety, stress, and encouraging sleep. So they've put all those little herbal ingredients in this, and this is what I do. Literally, I have it on my bedside table. I just use that much, and I just pop that under my tongue. It's got a slightly pepperminty taste, really nice. And I have that as I get into bed. So, you know, it takes, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes to work, you know, by which time I'm all calmly relaxed. And I do notice the difference. You know, it's one of those things, I've said this before, when I get to the empty packet of something and I think, oh my goodness, I need some more now. And you know, I need to absolutely have some more. That's when I know things are really working. Because there are some things, I try a lot of things, obviously. And there are some things, and I'll try them for a while, and I go, no, it's not really kind of doing it for me. And there'll be lots of half-open bits and pieces around my house because it hasn't really done it. You know, it's quite nice, but do I really want to say that I love it? Not especially. I do love this, and I buy it for my family. Okay, that's the other really key thing. Am I giving it to my family? Do I give it to my kids, to my girls? And yes, I do. Lily and Brella both have this by their beds. The other thing that I have by my bed is LBB, the balm. So this is Life is Beautiful in Balance, I think LBB stands for, my lovely friend Nana. And she is Nigerian, and she's used a lot of the African oils in this, combined with modern technology like ceramides. And it's a stick. And I actually use it at night over my cuticles and nails. It's just a really lovely little kind of ritual thing. And then I will also use it on dry patches. If I get a little bit of dry sort of eczema skin on my chin, I use it over my lips. You know, it's just a really nice thing. I love having it beside the bed, so it's something. And again, we do have a Liz Loves on that one as well. The other thing that I have is the sense of smell. So it's all about encompassing all the senses. So we know that lavender is very much a sedating, calming essential oil. I use this one. This is a Neal's Yard English lavender, which is really nice. And it has a very good aroma. Oh, that is really nice. And I just pop a couple of drops straight onto my pillow, literally like that. I don't bother with an expensive spray, sleep spray or mist or anything like that. And I will even put it onto my silk pillowcase, you know. And I remember doing this at the beginning and thinking, oh my goodness, you know, it's going to stain, but it doesn't. You know, it just evaporates. And, oh, it smells lovely. And I've never had an issue with it. So now I have, and again, my children, I've got little bottles of lavender oil beside my kids' beds. And it's, you know, one of the things that we do at night. We do this sort of the whole ritual of sleep to encourage them to have a good night's sleep. And as part of that, I pop a few drops of lavender oil on their pillow before I leave the room. So that's that. I actually noticed that when I got my Holistic Silk pillowcase, that it had a couple of what I thought were tea bags inside it. I thought, why have I got tea bags inside my pillowcase? And then I smelt them, and they're actually lavender bags. Isn't that nice? So these are little, they look like tea bags, but they've got lavender inside them. And I guess the idea is that you can just pop them inside here, you know, and sleep on them. Or if you wanted, you know, if you didn't want to put the oil on your pillowcase, you could actually pop it on here. Very nice. Oh, I'm feeling all calm. Oh, so calm. What else do I do? Oh, last thing. Okay, just one more thing. Actually, two more things, if I'm really honest. Because, of course, as a midlife woman, what's really helping me is estrogen. You know, that more than anything, that helps me sleep. So, for me, absolutely, that's a given. And, yeah. For insomnia, for sleep disturbances, I've had to increase my estrogel to 6 pumps a night, between 5 and 6 pumps. And do make sure if you're using the gel that you are using estrogel and not estradose. Again, there's a whole big scandal surrounding that. Lots of information on the Earle Wellbeing website, of course. But absolutely, you know, if you are battling your hormones and your hormones are taking a major dive, there is only so much you can do. Yes, all of these things I've talked about will help take the edge off. You know, clearing your mind, journaling, lavender, really great mattress, comfy pajamas, magnesium, Epsom salts baths. You know, that's all going to be really helpful. Of course it is. But fundamentally, if your hormones are raging inside, then, you know, you are going to have to get some other support hormonally. One last thing I do, okay, and this is my earplugs. Now, I have super sensitive hearing, and you know, I do always say to my children, watch out because I can hear you, okay? So that's one of the benefits. One of the downsides is that the tiniest noise will wake me up. Especially I found since moving out of London years ago into the countryside, living in the middle of fields, because, you know, there's no traffic noise, there's no airplane noise, there's no, you know, car door slams or, you know, front doors. I used to live in a terrace street, and now I think back, I think, gosh, how did I ever sleep? Because there was just, you know, so much noise all the time, people coming and going. But I guess you get used to it, and over the years, I am now used to sleeping in pretty much silence. And so, you know, if I get, you know, the of a bird or something, it's like, what's that? You know, it wakes me up. So even in the countryside, I sleep with earplugs. And the ones that I have, where have I got them here? Oh, I'm going to have to just go to the other side of the bed. I'll be back with you in a moment. So these are my actual earplugs that I use. I've had these for years, and they are specially made for me. You can go to any hearing clinic, just look them up online, and there's one with a red mark on it, which is my right ear, and left mark, a blue one, which is my left ear. And I put these in every night, and I have several pairs, and I travel with them. When we're allowed to travel, then they go with me all the time, and they block out pretty much every sound. Not so much that you can't hear a phone ring or a, you know, fire alarm or something. It's not that level, but they just really cleverly dull all the other noises that would wake you up. So that's what I have done, and I think they are a really good investment. The next thing that I think is really good, which I also have, are silicone ear drops, or earplugs rather. I've tried the wax ones. I don't like them. I don't find them very comfortable. I don't find them good to sleep in. But the wax ones, again, there's a link online if you want to find them. They come in little blocks like this, and they are really easy to mould, so that you can, what you do is just rub them between your fingers and create a little sort of smaller end, and then you can pop them in your ear like that, and then just sort of flatten the other bit around. If I take them out, you'll see the shape of my ear. There we go. So there we are. So that's kind of moulded to my shape. Much better than foam. They last as well. You can wash them. They are reusable, so you know they're reasonably good value. And the last thing, actually, one more thing. Oh my goodness, one more thing. There's always one more thing, isn't there? One more thing is I have a habit of grinding my teeth. So I do sleep with a little bite guard, and it's a really little thin one. It's the best one that I found. I've popped a link again in the feature. You can buy them. They're not expensive. I get them in boxes of 12. They're supposed to be disposable, but I don't do that. Each one for me lasts at least 2 or 3 weeks. So, you know, I wash them, and then I just clean them with a little bit of retainer solution, which my kids are all using. So that keeps them clean. And yeah, again, I find that that's really helpful for sleep, but also obviously to keep your teeth in good shape and not wear them down too much. But hopefully if you're doing all these things and you're calming down, you know, there's less tendency to grind. You know, grinding is a real sign of anxiety and stress. So hopefully doing all these other things, we are just kind of getting a little bit calm. I sound like Columbo. There's just one more thing. Oh, really? Is that what he said? How did the weighted blanket go? Thank you for reminding me. Okay, there is just one more thing. This is, I think, the last thing. So I have been investigating weighted blankets, and I think it was Lily actually who first put me onto this, because Lily, as you know, has this chronic pain, autoimmune disorder, and she has found it really helpful for her, and it's something to do with your autonomic nervous system, just calming you down. And when Lily was working as a primary school teacher, because she's a fully qualified primary school teacher, she had children in her class who were, they weren't autistic, but they definitely had spectrum difficulties. And she had a couple of little boys who used to wear weighted jackets. And again, this, I don't know quite how it works, but it gives you a sense of calmness, and it refocuses, I think, the parasympathetic nervous system. So there's some really interesting studies actually on autism and, as I say, help for ADHD, ADD. And so she was aware of the impact of having just a little bit of weighted matter, if you like, on the body. And she started using or sleeping under a weighted blanket, and it really helped her sleep. So then I've got, one of my youngsters is a bit kind of jumpy, uppy, downy all the time. And so I thought it might just help him just to calm and be a little bit more relaxed if he had a weighted blanket. So I went online, and there are lots and lots to choose from. I haven't done any kind of recommendations here because it very much depends on what size you want and what weight you want. So for children, they are quite low in weight. I think they are around maybe between 3 and 5 kilos. Whereas for adults, they can go up to 9 kilos. So this was actually given to me by a friend, so I'm afraid where it came from. It is heavy, it's 9 kilos. And it's got a cover, so it's quilted on one side and then just plain on the other. And I tried it. When did I put it on my Instagram? Probably night before last. Didn't sleep with it on last night. I did sleep with it on the night before last. So I literally put it on top of my duvet. I slept on top of my duvet, but under this. So I had my pillow and then this just covering me. And it's an extraordinary feeling. You've just got this sort of blanket of calm. That's the kind of best way of describing it, that just sits over you. And I had a really, really good night's sleep. So now I often have a really good night's sleep. So I can't say to you genuinely, this has made all the difference in the world, because it didn't. I did get a good night's sleep. I'm going to try it some more. I also thought it might be quite good to have one. I mean, this is quite big and quite heavy, and I might see if I can buy myself maybe a slightly lighter one, just to have over the back of the sofa, because it just could be quite nice, in the evenings if you're snuggled up watching TV or something, just to have something over you. I know that's what Lily does, and she finds it really comforting. So anyway, let me know if you try a weighted blanket, how you get on, and what brands you like. It would be really interesting to hear. I'd love to hear about your own experiences, or even other helpful ideas for children who can be a bit edgy, a bit anxious. If you've got any experiences with weighted jackets, for example, could be good. I love all the conversation. Oh yeah, that whole feeling of remembering being tucked into bed as a kid. Maybe it's triggering something back in our subconscious, that it is a bit like that, isn't it? It's a bit like having somebody tuck us in, and if you had somebody who would tuck the blankets under you in the old days, maybe it's that kind of feeling, that cocooning, like newborn babies who like to be cocooned. Interesting. So a couple of other little things just to tell you about. Roxy on Instagram, you bring so much information, fun and inspiration to so many. Please never stop your live IGs. Well, I hope not. I mean, they were born out of difficult times, obviously, with lockdown. But yeah, I certainly hope that we can continue them and keep them going. Oh, Leanne on Instagram says, your new yearbook has just arrived, yearbook 2. Yay! Lots of great ideas and recipes. Can't wait to try them. Well done. And this is, this is Anita. Oh, she's actually left me a review on iTunes asking me if I'd like to be on her podcast. That's really nice. So I love the value that you give and how you've inspired me in doing my podcasts. Well, that's nice, isn't it? I've learned a lot about how you introduce guests and ask great questions. I love your pace, warmth and authenticity. I would love to invite you to interview you on my podcast. So, well, there we go. We shall be in touch. Thank you very much for that. Talking about podcasts, today is a big day. Yes. Do you know why? I shall tell you. Today is a big day because it is the launch of Series 10 of the Earle Wellbeing Show. Wow. Series 10. How did that happen? We've got something like 280 something episodes of my podcast. So yeah, we're launching a new one, brand new one today. So let me know what you think. It's a good one. It's a really good one. It's with Dr. Rupi. Do you know Doctor's Kitchen? So interesting. Oh my goodness, the stuff that I learnt. Really, really good. And of course, I was a guest on his podcast not that long ago, which was really just so great to share. I love that when you can do these kind of reciprocal things, because often it's just such interesting people. Actually, I'm on Instagram this evening. If anybody follows The Healthy Pair, I'm going to be a guest on their Instagram live tonight at about 6 o'clock UK time. So looking forward to that. Makes a change, doing a split screen where, you know, I'm the bottom half and not the top half. So it'd be interesting to see how that goes. Anyway, that is just about it for today. Loads that we've cracked through, loads that we've talked about. As I say, you know, I'm not going to go through all the links again. You can find them on lizearlewellbeing.com. There's a whole feature that has them there, just written up, all about sleep. If you want the Liz Earle Wellbeing yearbook, signed copies available, or any other book, you get your free pack of notebooks. I'm so pleased, isn't it? Just little things can, you know, make me so happy. Anyway, I love these, and thank you very much to the person who suggested or made me think about notepads and notebooks by saying that she had to have one, you know, beside the bed or in her bag or in the kitchen to jot down things that she needed to buy or remember. So I hope you love them. We will be selling them on the website, but we can't do it just yet for some technical reason, but we will. They will be £7.50 for a little pack of 3 once they're up there, which might be the next sort of week or so. But in the meantime, you can get a free pack with any book. And I've got a whole pack to sign, so I must go and do that after this and then get those sent out in time for Mother's Day especially. Lots of things. I'm thrilled that my team have got that massive discount on Mammoth mattresses. That is epic. I'm going to be checking that out for sure. Mammoth Perks is the website to order. They do have a Mammoth mattress website, but the website discount doesn't work on that one. That's not the shop. Their shop is mammothperks.co.uk. Everything else I've talked about is on the website now. If you are interested in my series on menopause, that's why I was late today, because I was just recording the next episode, which will be up on YouTube tomorrow. Thursday is my kind of vlog YouTube upload day. So do make sure that you'll subscribe to the Liz Earle Wellbeing channel on YouTube. It's really easy. You just click a subscribe button, and it just means that when you go onto YouTube, you don't have to worry about where it is or finding it, because it just presents you with the next thing. So it's a really good thing to subscribe to if you find people that you like on YouTube. I use it all the time. Anyway, oh my goodness, somebody's already ordered a new pillow with their 40% discount. Isn't that great? Love it. Absolutely fantastic. I hope you get really good service from them. Let me know. Let me know when it arrives and what you think. It is time to go. I'm sorry. I could stay and chat all day. I really could, but I've got Team Zooms looming this afternoon. I'm recording a Friday 5 a little bit later on, which is going to be another really good one. I've got to prep. I've got to do another bit of filming for YouTube for a recipe for the weekend, and I am getting ready for my live at 6 o'clock with The Healthy Pair. So a lot to get on with today. But anyway, it's lovely to be with you today. Thank you. Thanks for all the lovely comments. Sending big hearts to you. Thank you for all the hearts that I'm seeing on the screens. It's really good to see you. Thank you so much. Bye bye Facebook. Bye bye YouTube. Stay well. Bye bye now.